My sister Traci is the one who said to me, Toni, you know, when you make it, you can help us come on. So I always try to abide that. But the responsibility of it is so heavy for me. I feel I can never live my life, and I never used to say it. I never used to say anything to anybody, but since we've been doing this show, I've been saying it.
Ever since the Braxtons came back on TV, it's been full of drama. It's pretty clear the sisters just can't seem to get along. Lately, there's always some new story popping up about them. Now, it seems like Toni is speaking out, saying she's tired of it all and feels like she's been supporting her whole family for years.
13 or 14, my mom, she had a really bad accident. She fell. And her back was really messed up, so she was in the hospital a long time. And so I was a surrogate parent for a moment.
Where was Dad?
Working, had to make a living, had 6 kids.
So what would it look like for you if it were different? If you didn't have that responsibility and if they weren't leaning on you, what would your life look like? What would you be doing?
Well, I would have soared higher.
You think so?
Absolutely.
There's no doubt that Toni Braxton is the most successful member of the Braxton family. With 7 Grammys and 70 million albums sold, she's one of the most accomplished R&B artists ever. Toni started her music career with her sisters in the late 80s as part of the Braxtons. Then, in 1993, she released her solo album, which became an immediate success. It hit #1 on the Billboard 200 and sold 10 million copies. Popular tracks like Breathe Again and Another Sad Love Song helped the album take off. Some of the album's producers included Babyface and Antonio L.A. Reid. She followed that up with another hit album, Secrets, which featured the huge song Unbreak My Heart. The single sold 10 million copies worldwide, making it one of the best-selling singles of all time. Toni has released 9 studio albums, the most recent in 2020, and all of them have done well. Despite her success, early on, she had to support her entire family, taking care of their financial needs. It wasn't an easy task. Toni has shared how she was the one handling everything while her sisters mostly stayed back, with only Tamar helping her with some bills.
Mommy and Daddy's divorced, and a divorced mom pretty much got nothing. I'm not going to leave my mom by herself. So I'm going to make sure my mother's taken care of. None of my siblings have helped me take care of my mother to make sure she was okay, except for Tamar. No one said,
this is before Vincent.
Before Vincent. Mommy's car insurance is due. Let's help Toni with Mommy car insurance. Only Tamar.
Mommy needs a car.
What Toni was trying to say is that even though Tamar can be a handful, she was actually helping their mom long before she became rich. Meanwhile, the other sisters pretty much thought, well, Toni's got it, she can handle everything. What upset Toni even more was that while she was covering the bills, Traci and Towanda insisted on being paid for working with her. Yet Tamar, who had been helping with the bills, never asked for anything in return.
When you do shows, you still charge her. I don't charge her. When the last time have I charged you for a show?
Tamar
It's been
hasn't charged you
years.
for a show for years. My sister Tamar never charges me to do background singing for me. My sister Traci does. My sister Towanda, she's an executive assistant. That makes sense for her to get a salary. I just wish every situation was not about Toni's savings and loans.
I have never charged Toni. And what I'm saying is it pissed me off. When I saw that you and Towanda get paid, I was pissed.
I understand that Traci deserved to be paid for all the years she spent singing backup for Toni. She had her own family to take care of, and every time she sang for Toni, it took away from her ability to make money for herself. But according to Toni and Tamar, the issue was that even though Traci was getting paid, she still wasn't contributing enough financially, leaving Toni to carry the burden of being the main provider.
It's okay. It's okay. I got you.
I don't want to talk about that, man.
But it's the truth.
What made things even worse for Toni was that, while she was the main breadwinner for her family, she also had financial troubles of her own. Despite all her success, which included generating over $170 million in record sales for her label, Toni filed for bankruptcy more than once. Even though she was bringing in millions for her label, Arista, she was only getting less than 35 cents per album sold. Toni even sued her record label, and just 8 weeks after filing that lawsuit, she filed for bankruptcy. She later explained that she declared bankruptcy because her contract left her with less than $2,000 in royalties, and she had to pay back the label for things like clothes, travel, studio time, and music video costs. Her financial situation got so bad that she was accused of fraudulently transferring $53,090 to her husband, Kerry Lewis, to avoid paying creditors during her bankruptcy case. Toni also did an interview with Oprah, thinking it would help people understand her financial struggles. Instead, it became a humiliating experience for her. Toni felt that Oprah came across as judgmental, condescending, and unsympathetic, which made the situation even harder for her.
Toni Braxton!
She was so freaking mean to me. I was in shock.
Do you take responsibility for the situation that you're in right now?
100%.
100%.
100%. I couldn't believe it because I loved her so much. I admired her and looked up to her. And she pretty much reprimanded me.
I read that you were upset about stories that your overspending caused this.
She says to me, I hear you have Gucci flatware. I'm Oprah Winfrey and I don't have Gucci flatware.
First of all, I didn't know Gucci made silverware.
You ain't got Gucci flatware because you didn't want to buy it. It's not because you couldn't afford it. What do you mean? And immediately, she made me feel this big. This big. That moment completely changed my career. It made people look down on me.
At the time, there were reports suggesting that Oprah intentionally humiliated Toni on her show, and even tipped off her record label about what Toni was planning to do. One source claimed that Toni filed for bankruptcy during a contract negotiation, which didn't look good for the label, especially since Toni had sold over 16 million records. According to the report, Oprah called the label ahead of the show and said, "Toni's on my show today and she intends to make you guys look really bad, but I think it's messed up, so watch the show." But putting Oprah's alleged actions aside, in 2010, Toni filed for bankruptcy again. This time, it was due to health issues. She was diagnosed with microvascular angina and lupus, which forced her to cancel a highly profitable Las Vegas contract.
Like a lot of people don't understand, my second bankruptcy was because I was sick. I have lupus, and my show in Vegas got canceled.
And the insurance wouldn't cover it.
The insurance didn't cover it, so I had to pay myself. And so
that's a lot. That was a lot of money.
It was a lot of money to put up a show. People don't understand this. If you see a concert, you see the lights, you see the band on stage. The artist pays for all that. The hotel rooms, the salary. So then you have nothing left.
In 2019, things got even worse for Toni when the IRS filed a lien against her on December 4th. The lien stated she owed $340,252.99 in back taxes for 2017. Just days later, the California Franchise Tax Board also hit her with a lien, claiming she owed over $116,154.64 in taxes. That brought her total debt to nearly $500,000 in back taxes. Many people speculated that Toni's family might have contributed to these financial problems, considering Toni had to support everyone while battling an expensive, incurable disease and dealing with her record label shortchanging her. When their show came back, there were reports that the sisters had issues with their pay and couldn't understand why Toni and Tamar were getting so much more than they were. This led to a huge argument, especially for Toni, who believed she deserved to be paid more than the others. Producers reportedly had to shut down filming after the heated argument between the sisters, and it got so bad that Toni walked off and said she was done. Toni also reportedly mentioned that before Traci passed away, they promised her they would get along, but things had only gotten worse. According to reports, it wasn't just about the money. Toni was simply tired of all the drama. There were also reports that none of the sisters attended the premiere party for Tamar and Missy's cooking show. A heated argument just 2 days before the premiere caused the sisters to miss it. Then, Towanda posted cryptic messages on social media, saying things like, "To everyone who has distanced themselves from me, kindly stay there." Towanda also married her longtime partner Sean Hall in an intimate ceremony in Decatur, Georgia, after being together for over 9 years. Toni and Trina were by her side as bridesmaids, but Tamar was noticeably absent. It's clear that the relationship between Tamar and Towanda has always been rocky. Even during the first season of their show, it was obvious from the very first episode. When Towanda was asked how it felt not to have access to her sister Tamar jumped in and said that Towanda didn't care. Tamar then went on to say that Towanda made more effort to stay in touch with Toni and Trina than with her, and that she usually had to reach out to Towanda first. Tamar claimed Towanda only contacted her when they were filming.
I respect where people are. I don't engage. I don't pour into certain types of energy. I make different choices in my life. And that's just where I am. Now this is TV, Josh. Outside of yesterday and today, when was the last time you talked to me? I don't recall. It wasn't my birthday because you didn't call me. Your birthday's September. Here we are in March.
Towanda has openly admitted that she couldn't even remember the last time she spoke to her sister Tamar. However, she did recall that Tamar didn't reach out to her for her birthday in September, even though they filmed the episode back in March. Towanda seemed so frustrated with Tamar that she revealed she was focusing only on the people living in her household, her children, and her partner. This suggests that she's reached a point where she's no longer concerned with maintaining relationships outside her immediate circle, especially with Tamar. As the Braxton sisters continue to argue, fans and the public have started taking sides. Some believe that Towanda's issues with Tamar go way back, and she's been carrying these long-standing grievances for years. On the other hand, there are those who think Towanda is simply jealous of Tamar's success and the attention she receives, especially since Tamar has enjoyed her own career milestones. This growing tension between Towanda and Tamar has caused even more squabbles within the Braxton family, and it's rumored that Toni is just fed up with it all. She's had enough of the constant drama and infighting. Then came Tamar's explosive meltdown, which only added more fuel to the fire. Tamar disabled her social media accounts after making several emotional and explosive posts on the platform formerly known as Twitter, X. In one now-deleted post, Tamar expressed how toxic she felt her family was, writing, "Y'all have no idea none of the gaslighting is crazy, and I'm going back into treatment. OMG. I just pray that my marriage can be saved and my life can be spared. My family is awful." In another post, she wrote, "I'm so mad at my life. My family is toxic. I should have never gone back to BFV." These posts painted a grim picture of the situation, and it seemed like Tamar was at a breaking point. The drama continued to unfold when Tamar blocked Toni on social media, and Toni only discovered this when she tried to tag Tamar in a birthday post. Toni shared that she suspected she had been blocked, writing, "I wanted to repost that gorgeous picture of you, but I'm blocked again." This led to further confusion and frustration between the sisters. Tamar, however, denied any wrongdoing, calling Toni's claim pure gaslighting. Tamar later shared a screenshot of a text message conversation between her and Toni from the day before, showing that they had been trying to figure out which city the other was in. Tamar suggested that if Toni had truly wanted to get in touch, she could have simply called her. There are even some who believe that Toni's family, while benefiting from her success, may have contributed to her financial troubles. They argue that as she provided for everyone, she might have become drained, both financially and emotionally. This, in turn, could have affected her health in ways we may never fully understand. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Do you think Toni's family drained her, contributing to her financial and personal struggles? And do you believe the emotional stress might have played a role in her illness? Let me know what you think in the comments below.